I thought I would talk about the Devil card because it is so misunderstood, and it is an interesting card in itself. Here we have the Rider-Waite version with the random upside down pentacle added, the hand up, down, the torches down. We have the grapes and the sort of the fire, man, the woman chained. We have this devil perched with a belly, staring eyes, just there. And then we have the Thoth deck. Here we have the goat that has a third eye. Here's the wings, the Egyptian wings, and here we have this sort of DNA-looking cell division thing going on, which is really kind of strange and modern, and it's staring right at you with this silly grin on its face. It's it's also very phallic. We have the two testicles and the rod itself. And here we have Marseille. This is the convert. We have the same thing we have as in this one. We have the chained humans with horns, a ring to the neck. We have a horned and bat-winged devil. The torch is up on this one, down on this one. The hand is spread, and it's on a pedestal. So when someone gets this card, they probably think that they are, cursed or whatever, which is not the case at all. So in this book, the devil itself is before the tower. So the 10 most important symbols are here, but it says that it's clear the threshold of taboo has been crossed. It says surging under the surface is now visible, and that is an advantage and a challenge all at once. Basic meaning: the devil represents a kind of vampire, a truly burdensome torment, which we have reason to be afraid. The devil personifies a deprived child, that part of which we have so far treated with neglect, even though we secretly and justifiably have a certain longing for it. So the figure's position and poses parallels with the VI 6, the lovers, and the V5, the Hierophant, are obvious. They may be the two lovers. Spent time and energy hauling the great statue of the devil on its plinth out of the darkness. It's also the cube that the devil is on. This is the Rider-Waite version. The black cube, the Holy of Holies in some religions, the Kaaba in Mecca, a symbol of unworked material, unexplored self. The horns, a sign of uncivilized nature. They signify not so much unfaithfulness as with everything in us, or everything remains original and unrefined. The bat's wings and claws, animal of great sensitivity, nocturnal, taloned feet, element of the air, the devil as an earth spirit. Triangular head, here, and here. Downward pointing pentagram warns against negative energies that pull down everything. Here's the goat's haunches, here, here. Symbolizes the drives and instincts which every animal has. Chains here, no chains there, maybe strife, chains there. warns against dependency, especially in the form of a vicious circle. The torch stands for bringing light into the darkness. There, and perhaps that could be the torch. Symbols on the hand. I did not notice that. There are symbols there. It's the high priest sign of blessing. Here all fingers are opened up. The tails on the people. There. Like the horns, man came down from heaven to earth, but not only as an angel, but also as an ape from the trees. The task is to acknowledge and fashion what remains of our primordial nature. Now, in tarot correspondences, the alternate names are Pan, Typhon, and Bahamut. Captor of the lost, Il Diavolo, the Diablo. Lord of the gates of matter, child of the forces of time. This could be seen as matter. Its planet, its sign is the Capricorn. The Hebrew letter is Ayin. The Hebrew letter is I, like an eye, to see. And let's see. There are certain plants associated with this: birch, willow, elm, thistle, poppy, sweet woodruff, thyme, hemp, and dock. Let's see. Mythic figures. This is always interesting. Lucifer, Seth, Beelzebub, Agni, Pan, Dionysus, Chem, Priapus, Bacchus. Magical weapon, the secret force, the lamp. All these things here written. Captor of the lost. It's interesting. So the devil on the tree of life is shown here on this branch. So that's interesting. So what do I think of it? How does it apply to me, or how would I see it? So whenever I see this card, I always think, oh, it's the part of us that is banal, that is the rough part of us that has yet to be refined, whether it be urges of maybe spending money, or sexual urges, or not being able to control them, of letting yourself go, being chained to them, as is the people chained here. I always tell people it's people chained to their primitive self, and not reaching a point of enlightenment where they are controlled by these forces. But you can read the meanings all you want, but I think really what it boils down to is, what do you see when you're showing these to someone? So if they react, scared, or they're like, oh my God, what does this mean? Calm them down and tell them, this means that, maybe you have some creative energy that needs to be controlled and molded into something. Maybe you need to set a path that you're going to seek out something, and not squander that, whether it be a talent or just money or something. When you think of the devil, think of vice, think of hedonism, hedonistic tendencies, and that we're all chained. We're human. We all have these desires that we're chained to in these cards. Now, the Crowley Thoth deck is very interesting. I've said before that the deck kind of it's a scary deck. It's a very complex deck. Here we have cell division. creation, birth of things. We have these people sort of in this sort of ecstasy, sort of jumping and lounging, but they also look like art figures that you would sketch, like the wooden ones, the wooden figures. Here we have this nebulous blackness that looks like it's disappearing, like it's evaporating. We have the third eye here, the all-seeing eye, and it looks like there's a bunch of grapes on the head there, and the twisted horns, almost sort of comical. And we have, of course, the phallus here, which isn't evident unless you really look at it. You see there's the phallus, which goes to our basic nature. And there's the Capricorn symbol there, and the Hebrew letter there, which is always nice to have on a card. And these all share the 15th card number. Some decks, they don't even have a devil. They kind of forfeit it. I know the Robin Wood, it's two people pulling the chest out of the darkness into the light, but it's like they have this look of worry on their face, which is very much like the myth of Persephone? Hades and Persephone. The pomegranate seeds leaving. I think that's what it is. I know Hades is involved, leaving the underworld. For me, it's not a scary card, but to some people that don't know, it can be very terrifying. So just being aware of how you would, I always revert to that. That's the primal, not giving in to that, or, just really focusing on and acknowledging that. Because I think that, we all have things we can improve on, or that we can really seek and define, but maybe we're confused or we don't know how to do it. Anyway, that's the Devil card, a very misunderstood card.